As we've been reporting, the United States has been launching strikes on suspected narco-traffickers headed to our country. The drug boats are taken out near the waters of Venezuela. The United States has recently beefed up its military presence in the region. That includes warships, troops, special ops, and Air Force patrols. But why might the U.S. be interested in Venezuela, besides being a transit hub for drugs and human trafficking? Well, Venezuela has the world's largest oil reserves, more oil than Saudi Arabia. In 2024, according to the United States Energy Information Administration, the U.S. imported about 220,000 barrels of oil per day from Venezuela. That means Venezuela was the fourth largest supplier of crude oil to the United States. But besides oil to the United States pays close attention to Venezuela's politics. Venezuela, under President Nicolas Maduro, is running a socialist government. Maduro has very close ties to U.S. adversaries, including Cuba, China, Russia, and Iran. Not only that, Venezuela under Maduro is believed to be a safe haven for Hezbollah. Yes, Hezbollah, that Iran-backed terror group from Lebanon. Just today, a Senate committee held a hearing on Hezbollah's drug trafficking operations in Latin America. By the way, at its closest points, Venezuela is only 1,050 miles from Key West, Florida. Georgia Republican and member of the House Armed Services and Foreign Affairs Committee, Congressman Rich McCormick, joins me. Nice to see you, sir.
Great to be with you today.
Anyone objecting on Capitol Hill to President Trump hitting these ships coming out of Venezuela?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Democrats did, because they seem to be against everything that Trump endorses. I think this is a great thing. The sad thing is, in 1990, when I joined the Marine Corps, we used to train with Venezuelan Marines. We had them going through school with us. I mean, they were a close ally. They're the second highest GDP per capita in the world. And now look at them. One president basically took them from that pinnacle to where they're at right now, and destitute, where they're literally eating zoo animals. And they have, even though they have all this oil and all this income, they can't get it right, because socialism just does not work. And now it's not even socialism, it's just a dictatorship.
Well, that's why so many people walk the Darien Gap from Venezuela. Why there's so many Venezuelans in the United States, a lot of them, I know, obviously immigration has been a huge issue in this country, illegal immigration, I should add, but a lot of them were from Venezuela.
Yeah, and unfortunately, a lot of Venezuelan criminals were released from their jails and were smuggled up here. Literally, people bragging about how many murders they did that were allowed into America by the Biden administration, who have done real harm to Americans, and that's really scary.
Do you have any idea what the government does to sort of determine whether these boats are really narco smugglers?
So a lot of this is due with our intelligence gathering capabilities. Obviously, we don't take out people just based on a hunch. They get confirmation from real intel on what these boats have on board. Like he knew with the submarine, for example, it had mostly fentanyl, bad guys. We knew what gangs they belonged to, and we take out the bad guys. You had to be very careful in selection. When we used to be on floats and we'd have an idea what we're going to take out, take down a ship like that we couldn't even talk about, we had real live intelligence. If we had any doubt at all, it would be called off. So these are confirmed targets. These aren't just, we hope they're bad guys.
Why don't we, there's no effort to contact them and board them? I mean, in the old days, you could contact, if they have a flag from Venezuela, you call Venezuela and say, can I board it? Or from Panama,
sure, you can.
And ask to abort it. But are we attempting to board any of these, or we just make the determination these are bad and boom, they're gone?
And we've done it in the past. Two things can happen. First of all, they can run and they can get away and go back, and they go back into international waters, they're home free. Or they can shoot back and kill our Marines and our sailors or SEALs or whomever is trying to board that ship. Now you have a very dangerous situation. The question is, are you willing to risk lives to take somebody who you know is smuggling jail? Now you're going to put them in jail, in our jail system, and eventually get them back there. The expense and the danger to our troops versus just taking out bad guys who are literally coming here that have caused hundreds of thousands of deaths, more than all the wars we've ever fought together. When you start combining all the deaths that have happened from fentanyl and overdosing and drugs and the gang wars in the inner cities, if you look at the mortality and morbidity of a male black man in America, and I got this from Dr. Satcher when I was a student at Morehouse, it declined dramatically with the cocaine wars with crack cocaine, and it's only escalated with this sort of warfare that they're basically having on us.
Well, we're losing. People think news just happens. It doesn't. It happens because there's someone there to capture the moment, to explain it and share it. That's my job. I go where news breaks and give you the facts. Join me for The Record on Newsmax.